So we might as well get started.
Okay, thank you. So, hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am Pratishtha Sharma from Informix.net Quality and Development team. And today I will be talking about Informix in .NET world. So this is a quick agenda for the day. We will be talking about the overview of .NET, what is .NET Core, the timelines of .NET Core with Informix, functionalities of .NET Core provider, .NET Framework provider versus .NET Core provider, the comparison, and the demo application. So what is .NET? So .NET is a single unified platform to build desktop applications like WPF as illustrated in the diagram below, the web applications like ASP.NET, Cloud, Azure, mobile applications, the gaming, IoT, and the AI. It provides support for multiple languages like C#, F#, Visual Basics. Talking about the implementation of .NET, which includes .NET Framework, .NET Core, and Mono. Currently, we are supporting .NET Framework and .NET Core in Informix. So what is .NET Framework? So Microsoft introduced .NET Framework in 2002 to provide support for Windows-based applications like desktop, web, cloud, etc. So as I said, .NET Framework was designed for Windows-based application. Again, I'll be stressing on Windows-based application, which introduced another set of limitations, which I'll be covering in my next slide. Talking about .NET Core. So .NET Core, what does it mean to us? Why someone will use .NET Core when we have .NET Framework already available and we are able to build our applications, create everything. So .NET Core is very similar to .NET Framework driven by Microsoft, and it is also used to develop Windows applications. But the major difference in .NET Core is it is cross-platform. That is why where it is different from the framework. So with .NET, when I say cross-platform, it means Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. Also, you can create modern applications with .NET Core, which contains microservices capabilities. We can also put them into the Docker container, which is quite powerful paradigm. And right now, Microsoft has stopped any further development in .NET Framework, and all the development work is going on .NET Core. We can also install multiple versions of .NET Core in the same system, and we can use each version according to the application's requirement and whenever needed. As illustrated in the diagram on the right-hand side, which I've taken from debuggershub.com, you can see that it supports multiple languages like C#, F#, Visual Basic, as I said. Frameworks that are supported is ASP.NET Core, Windows Universal Platform, Tizen, tools that are being used like Visual Studio Code, Notepad++, Visual Studio 2017. It has different characteristics like it is open source when Microsoft has made it open source. It is cross platforms, development platforms used in Windows, Mac, and Linux. Runtime environment it has for .NET Core and with ASP.NET Core and even .NET Core SDKs. Coming on to the timelines of .NET Core with Informix. So the first release of Informix of .NET Framework 1.0 provider was done in 2002. And subsequently, we have supported the framework that is 2.0 and currently we are supporting 4.x. And in fact, Informix.net framework also supported Visual Studio integration, that is VSI. And VSI is like a GUI drag and drop kind of implementation based for the application development from Visual Studio. And we don't support it anymore. Reason being, there was a decision made by IBM level to support the common .NET provider. When I say common, it means it should be supported by both Informix as well as DB2. So that the way Informix.net development took a backseat and the promotion was more for the common driver. So that is why it has not been supported yet. And currently we are supporting .NET Framework 4.x with Informix. And after this, we have came up with a new provider called .NET Core Provider with new functionalities and upgradation. So Informix.NET Core Provider, what does it mean to us? We have initially shipped Informix.NET Core Provider with our CSDK 4.50.exe4 and so on, and we have versioned it as 3.1.1. It is available on Windows as well as Linux on both the platforms. The name of the provider is Informix.NET Core.dll on both the platforms, that is Windows and Linux. And it is located in the Informix dir/bin location in CSDK. We have built this on top of Informix ODBC driver, .NET Core, and even .NET Framework as well. It is, we are working to get this available on NuGet organization as well, so that you can download it from the NuGet packages. Currently, the work is in progress, and till then, we will be shipping it with CSDK. So let me take you through how this works with the application. What is the request and the response flow? So this is the diagram of a system request and a response flow. This is my application. This is my .NET driver. So my application sends requests or requests the data for the action to .NET driver. Same request has been forwarded to the ODBC, and ODBC passed those requests to Informix server. Once it collects the information from Informix server responds back to the ODBC, and same way ODBC forwards that request to the Informix.NET driver, and then our driver passes that response to the application so that the work can be completed. This is the flow of how the .NET driver works with the application and the Informix server. Coming on to the Informix.NET Core provider, that is the built environment. So .NET Core, Informix.NET Core.dll library is built on Windows for both Windows and Linux platform. So built environment remains Windows even for Linux, since it supports cross-platform binaries. So we have built it on Windows, and we can use it on Linux as well. We've already tested that. So built environment remains on Windows even for Linux. Microsoft Windows Server 2016, this is the version that we have used, v10.0.14393 is the version that we have used to build our .NET provider. This is our .NET SDK version 3.1, 201, the CMake version, and the Visual Studio Enterprise 2017 version is v15.8.6. So this is our built environment and the versioning that we have used to build a provider. So what is Informix.NET Core Applications? So .NET Core Applications using Informix.NET Core Provider would need other .NET Core assemblies or libraries for .NET runtime. So in a simpler way, if I'll say that for developing any application for .NET Core or framework, we need a .NET provider and some other common .NET Core assemblies or libraries, and even the runtime. So we will be providing our provider, that is Informix.NET Core.dll, and all other dependent library references to be downloaded from Microsoft or other suitable websites where it is provided or are available. And other than that, all other related information of Informix, like setting up the path, setting up the environment variables of Informix dir, Informix SQL host, and Informix server will remain same. We have to set them appropriately as we used to do earlier to run the Informix.NET Core applications. Coming on to the functionalities of .NET Core Provider. So all the functionalities of Informix.NET Core Provider are similar as they were in .NET Framework version 4.x, and you can see the existing guide also for more reference and the functionalities which were there and which we are continuing. There are some kind of slight improvement, or you can say modification, we have done on some of the functionalities that I will be talking about now. One is connection pooling. So in connection pooling, we have max pool size and a min pool size. So in the max pool size, we have global maximum numbers of connections across all pools. Global maximum means once you set it across your application, that becomes the highest limit, irrespective of how many number of connection pooling you have or connection manager you have in your given application. It cannot go beyond that. I mean, the max limit, and the range is 5 to 2000. Similarly, we have min pool size. When you open the application, the connection at the first time, and assume there is no connection open as far as the request is concerned, then it will open this many connections at one go. I'll give you a small example on this. Let's say I have set the value as 5 and as a min pool size, and then it will open 5 connections. So in that 5 connections, one connection will be in active state, one connection will be in requesting state, and 4 connections will be in idle state. So when any other new request comes in, it will be taking the idle connection which are already existing there and will not open a new connection request. So this is what the min pool size is all about. Other functionalities are get idle connection count and get active connection counts. So get idle connection count is like the connection count will be whatever connections are there which are in idle state in your application. So it will be in a global level and not specific to only specific pool. So it will be like the idle number of connections connected to the database server. So it will be giving you the overall count value. And same way, the get active connection count will give you all the active connections in your application at the global level, not at the specific pool. So one more quick example I'll be able to give you on these two, get idle connection count and get active connections count. So let's say we have 50 open connections in my entire application or across all pools and all active connections. So the active connection are 20, let's say. So get active connection count will show 20 and get idle connection count will be 50 minus 20. That will be 30. this is how our connection pooling count, the get idle connection count and the active connection count is being calculated. Another important functionality that has been given in .NET Core Provider is DSN, that is data source name. So now using Informix.NET Core Provider, applications can create ODBC DSN source name and use them in an application string as DSN is equals to the DSN name that you have set it. So all other functionalities are already documented in our .NET Provider reference guide, and in the coming slides, I will be showing you the reference also that holds all the information, and all other functionalities of .NET Core will remain same as .NET Framework, including the data type support, the transaction support, including the tracing functions, which we are supporting. That will remain same. The same environment variables for ifx.net trace will be there, like we used to set it like 1, 2, 3, the input output parameters, and the function versus which parameters will be set. The tracing location will remain the same where the file used to go. So which is all controlled by ifx.net tracing will remain same as it used to work earlier. So the question arises, could I run the existing .NET Framework application on my .NET Core Provider? Certainly the answer is yes, we can. There is no major change that you have to do, and in the next slides, I will be showing you a quick demo also where we have used our application on both the providers, but as in .NET Framework and .NET Core. So there's no major change we have to do, but just the library name is changed for both the providers. So in the existing .NET Informix provider, that is 4.x provider, the application we can use only change in the assembly name. So in the framework, it was ibm.data.informix, wherein in .NET Core, it is named as informix.net.core. And the recompiling of the application will be the same. The DLL library name remains same on both the platforms, and like Windows and Linux, and the DLL name will be mentioned as informix.netcore.dll. And the location of this DLL will be inside Informix dir/bin in CSDK 4.50, XE4, and so on. So all the names of the interfaces, methods in Informix.NET Core providers are same as existing in Informix.NET Framework. So there is no change in that. Okay, so I'll be showing you a quick comparison of the code of .NET Framework and .NET Core Provider. So what is the difference? As I said earlier, there's only one difference in the code or program, I would say, the application that needs to be changed is the provider, the library, or the DLL name. So here we are using .NET Core, and we are using it as informix.net.core, wherein on the right-hand side, we are using framework, and we are using it as ibm.data.informix. Below which I have mentioned how we can build the application, compile it, and run it. So for .NET Core, it is very simple. We just have to run .NET build, and the application will be built. And the way we have to run is just the .NET. It will create one my app DLL. You see, there's only one project file that we will be running and one program. So once this is generated, we will give this file location and we will run the application. It's very simple. Another way we used to do it in framework was we used to compile it with CSC, that is C# compiler, and we used to give the location where our program and the library is mentioned. That the CSDK path we used to give it. And then once the exe is created, we used to run it. This is how we used to run in .NET Framework and Core. So this is very slight difference between .NET Framework and Core. Everything else is same. Even the code will be same. The functions, everything will be same. So in this code program, what we are doing is we are connecting to a database with the connection string. First, we are dropping a table, we are creating a new table, inserting a record, and then selecting it. Once the operation is done, basically the CRUD operation, after that, we are closing the connection. Okay, so here is some of the demos applications that we have created to test the functionalities of Informix.NET Framework and Core. So this is our Windows presentation form application. Basically, we are performing the code operation here, and this is a very small application that we have created initially when we started with .NET Core. And this application works with .NET Framework as well as Core. So this is login page of the application where user will enter his name and the password and login. If the user is a new, they can register from here, the register button. So this application is mainly the admin side of the application that I'll be showing you. So once you have logged in, your name will be splashed here as a user, and the information of the users you will be able to see the first name, last name, user ID, your username, email address, and the user type, whether you are an admin user or a normal user. If you are an admin, you can add a user here. By clicking on this button, this window will pop up and it will say first name, last name, email ID, user type, and you have to fill all the information here. Once this is done, you have to click on submit and you will see the user has been added here. And then you can maybe log out the application. So this was just a small application to just check whether our driver works with it or not. And this is the Windows presentation form that we have used to build this application. So second demo application is the ASP.NET Web-Based Application. And we have again made one small application that is IMS, Inventory Management System. So this is the login page. Once you will open the application, you will see the login page. Here is the GitHub link. Even you can access it and run the application. So we have three tabs here: Product Store, Shopping Mart, Order Details. So in this, once I go to this Product Store, the first tab, this information will be displayed like product name. I've mentioned pen, mango, and dairy, the price per unit, available quantity that we have, and these two buttons for the admin, edit or delete. If in your store, the available quantity is not there, you want to decrease or increase, or even you want to change the prices of the unit, you can change that. Or even if you don't have the product available on the store, you can delete that certainly. The next page is Shopping Mart. Shopping Mart contains only one change in the page is the purchase. So it will show all the details of the products, price, unit, available quantity. You can click on the purchase and you can buy the item. Once you click on purchase, you will be routed to the other page which says product name, price per unit. Select the quantity. You want only one, as 100 is available. You want only one. You will click on 1, 5, 3, 2, whatever you want the count, and click on checkout. Once the checkout is done, you will be directed to the page where you will see the order details. How much, what product you bought, what was the price, what was the quantity, and the amount. Accordingly, you have to pay. So this is just the small demo application that we tried to check whether the .NET Core works with the web-based applications or not, and it worked successfully. Coming on to the third demo, I will be showing you. So it's about so in this demo, I will be showing you an application which is basically an e-commerce application. I have named it as a mobile shop. And in this, we will be using .NET Core Provider. And for these mobile images, we have used Informix blob data type. So this is our main homepage. And as name says, it's a mobile shop. So this is the images of the mobile where you can buy a mobile. And if you are an admin user, you have an inventory where you can add your mobiles. First of all, I'll show you how the inventory works. Okay. Also, this is my connection string that I'm using for this application, so which says what is my database name, my server details, my connection string basically. This is the connection string that I'm using. Just let me restart it once. Sorry for the delay. It's taking some time to load. Looks like it suddenly got so slow. All right, so I was talking about the inventory. So I'll click on this. So this is my inventory. Currently, you have seen in the mobile shop, there were 3 images of the mobile. So in my inventory, I have 3 mobiles available. I have an option of add new mobile in the store. As I'm an admin user, I will click on add new mobile, and I'll be performing here the CRUD operations of and adding 1 mobile to my list, to my cart, I would say. So I'll be adding Samsung Galaxy. I'll name it a model as XA1, okay. And I'll price it as Indian rupees as 20,000, or you as a user, you can do that. So quantity, I'll mention it as I have 10 mobiles available in my store, which are red in color. I have a SIM time type as micro. Features is it provides selfie camera with 64 megapixels. I'll be adding a description like good mobile, and I'll be choosing an image from here above of the mobile. I've downloaded these image, and basically we are using blob data type to store these images in our driver in the application. So I'll say create. Okay, suddenly it got slow. I don't know how. Okay, it stopped. I'll quickly add one mobile here. Price, quantity, color, SIM type, features, and description. Choose an image. Create. Okay, now you see it is added. This is what I added here. And even you can see that in your mobile shop. So this is the phone that I've added. So you can see the mobile details here. And even if you want to buy it, so I want to buy 2 phones. I'll add to cart. And I will see this phone has been added in my cart here. If I change my mind that I don't want to buy this mobile and I want another one, I have an option to delete it. It will be deleted. So I again go back and I just say, okay, I'll buy Redmi, not the Samsung one. I'll go and check it. Okay, fine. I'll buy one quantity. I'll add the cart again. I'll go to my cart. I'll see, okay, this time I really wanted to buy it. I'll go and do checkout. So this is the payment option that I've created. So this is, the phone is of 16,000. I will enter my card details, the expiry date, the card CVV, my name, and I will go and click on my make payment. So I've already bought some mobiles earlier also. So this is the mobile which I'm going to buy right now. And so this is what I bought, and this is my order details. If you go back in my cart, which I added, so mobile will not be there. It is in my order details. And this is the order ID which is being generated, mobile name, the model, and all the description and the amount which I have paid. This is how the application works. And even if I show you the database where these information are here, let me quickly show you that too. So this is the HQ, and I will show you where all data is being stored. So it is in my mobiles. So this was the demo, a database demo that I was using as the database name. So here it is, demo DB. So I will quickly show you. Select star from mobiles. And I will run this query. I will see all the 4 mobiles that have been added, and this one is the one which I bought. This is the information I got it from my database. Same way, I can check my order details. I will run it. So this is my order details, CMI, that I've bought. So this is the functionality of .NET Core Provider and how it works with Informix. So yeah, any questions, please?
Well, here's the official 10-minute warning, so we have time for questions.
So these are the official references that you can see from where I've taken the content, and even the Informix provider guide for .NET Framework and the core that you can refer to.
If anybody wants to ask a question, just put it in the chat, and I'll read it out or whatever.
Yes, please.
No, we have no questions, apparently. Last chance. I agree, Karen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
The next sessions will be starting at 1:10 in all the tracks, so you have a little bit of a break.
Thank you, Karen.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you all.